Alright, what's up YouTube? So back here with another YouTube or Draft League battle, just post-match analysis. So this is going to be my week 2. My week 2 was against my friend Paz. This is his team. My team still hasn't changed from week 1 if you've seen that. So still have Sneasler, Scizor, Arcanine, Tox, Pex, just same deal. Have a lot of fat Pokemon and have some angles to go more hyper offense. First battle I went more hyper offense because I was afraid of his team, the enemy's team, setting up on me pretty easily. This time I did a little bit of testing. I did want to bring hyper offense initially, but it seemed pretty difficult against a Sun team. And see here he has a Masquerada, Walking Wake, Ceruledge, Torkoal, just a lot of threats here, especially Sandy Shocks. That would be hard. Like, we would just be trading Pokemon back and forth, and I think overall he has more defensive options for my offensive threats than I do for his. So if we go for like trade for trade, I think his team wins almost every single time. I'd have to play like very, very well to, have that go in my favor. I think Mamoswine does pretty well in his team, but it's pretty slow. And I would have to rely on just Ice Shard killing things, and it just seemed like a really hard matchup to go hyper offense. So I ended up bringing a more bulky team, as I'll show you in a bit. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have too much to say about this. If he decided to bring in like a more offensive team, Blissey would go pretty good here. It would handle, the Sandy Shocks, the Regice, the Victory Bell. Is both of his Terra Captains would be handled by Blissey. His 2 Ghosts, not too afraid of them. Ceruledge is definitely a threat that I thought would come in. I did bring Arcanine. I brought a pretty funky set to deal with, like bulk up Ceruledge and for Torkoal. As I'll show it off later, but I guess we can go into the battle right now. So yeah, this is what I brought. I was definitely contemplating bringing, Stall with Mamoswine in the back to just pivot around and, fire off like a very strong Earthquake, Icicle Shard, or Ice Shard, or Icicle Crash. And then, knock off and, set up hazards and whatnot. But I felt that it wasn't fast enough to deal with everything he could potentially bring. I think Banded Ice Shard one-shots, things like the Victory Bell. I think it definitely kills Minior, and not sure the Calc on Masquerada. But yeah, it would be pretty tough, especially if I am choice locked. So I decided to bring in Sneasler. The idea was to have it Scarf to outspeed pretty much everything he has. That isn't also Scarfed. I brought Poison Touch this time. My idea was I can, come in, U-turn, and get that and start chipping away at things little by little. Besides that, Blissey will always try and come in on, any of his special threats. Arcanine is here to help me deal with pivoting around Masquerada, and I think that's the only... Minior to some extent. The set I brought on it was like Crunch with Intimidate, Scorching Sands. What's the healing move? Morning Sun to take advantage of the sunlight and heal myself up even more. The Scorching Sands is cool because it would have dealt with a bulk up Ceruledge set, and it does like 55 to a max defense Torkoal, which is what I figured he would be bringing. So I mean, I've been talking a little bit too much, but let's just get into it. So yeah, sorry about that, forgot to mute it. So yeah, he leads off with Deoxys. I just lead off with Sneasler. I don't mind revealing that this is going to be like my choice Scarf guy. This doesn't really immediately reveal that. I was kind of hoping maybe I'd catch like Masquerada off guard if he wants to lead with it and start U-turning, but good job just having Deoxys here and go for like a layer of spikes or stealth rocks or whatever it wants to do. One thing I did forget to mention is I really wanted to bring Hat, but I had trouble justifying bringing it over the defensive Pokemon that I did bring, because I thought, yeah, maybe I could have not brought Arcanine, but I thought Sarah Ledge was coming, and I thought Arcanine would help a little bit better with that. And Arcanine helps me deal with Meowscarada better than Hat would. But yeah, that's one of the things I have to play around his hazards. So I U-turn, I get the Poison Touch just like I wanted to help me whittle this away. I'll bring in Arcanine just to absorb the knockoff, and I do have Crunch. He'll switch out. I'm basically expecting me to have Crunch. Brings in the Walking Wake. I see the leftovers, and I'm not immediately tipped off that there's anything weird about this set, like if it's a defensive set or something. And I see the Sunny Day here, which is really cool. He brought a really cool set. I was mostly afraid of like a Specs, a max special attack Walking Wake, because like in the sun, even Blissey doesn't tank that super well. Like I think it does like 44, so that's really rough. But here at this point, I'm not really tipped off about anything. Like I see he's bringing Sun just in case his Torkoal goes down. Is like my immediate thought. He brings in the Torkoal. I figure that I just want to get damage if he just wants to fire off the Hydro Steam immediately, and just to gauge how much damage I want to start getting damage on things. So that's why I go for Seismic Toss. This comes in. I figure he's gonna bring it in to start hazard stacking. We trade rocks here, which is good for both of us, and I decided to stay in. I was pretty sure the Torkoal was gonna carry Body Press, otherwise why bring this? It's just gonna take damage, maybe set up rocks, and then try and switch out on a Seismic Toss. But I guess for lack of wanting to scout it, I stay in. I also figured that Seismic Toss would be good here because I need this thing under half so that close combat from Sneasler kills. So luckily I do get that, but he does reveal he does have the Body Press. I definitely was wishing I brought in Pex on here. I do so now to tank it, but he ends up going for Rapid Spin, which is really good play on his part. If I had gone for Soft Boiled, it would have sucked for him, or we would have been back to square one. Good prediction on my Toxic. He brings in the Deoxys to try and recover, which he does. As kind of a mid-ground play, I'll go for Alamomola and flip turn and just basically check what he wants to do. Oh, I don't flip turn, I go for the Wish. I think I flip turn next because it's basically free. I don't have to protect, I don't need healing on this. I go back into Blissey because it's getting pretty low, especially after those hazards. And he brings in Meow. Here, after leftovers, I was pretty comfortable keeping this because I want to scout what kind of Meowscarada this is. I know that with my EV spread, if this is banded, I'll immediately die to knockoff. And if it's anything else, I will live it, and I can either if it's Sash, I'll break it with Seismic Toss or Ice Beam, or I'll get my Stealth Rocks back up. So that was kind of the reason why I stayed. Also seeing the Sunny Day and flip turn on the Walking Wake, I wasn't as afraid of it as before. Like I could definitely play around it with Alamomola and Toxapex. That was kind of why I was thinking that I'd be fine letting go of Blissey here. Otherwise, I think the better play would have been to immediately go to Arcanine, but I don't think that gives me enough information. So now that I know that it's banded, I know that my Sneasler, which is Scarfed, is always going to outspeed. So I just go for the U-turn, do as much damage as I can, and he switches into Torkoal, which is fine. Don't get the poison, totally cool. And here's where I want to reveal my Arcanine set. I do have Scorching Sands, it'll kill from this range. And I think he just switches it out, so he doesn't want to mess with it. Maybe, yeah, I'm not sure why he... no, this is still a good play because I definitely can't kill this, and then he starts getting initiative. So really good play on my opponent's part. So here I reveal the Scorching Sands, expecting to hit this, but I don't. It's okay. I switch out. Yeah, these hazards are starting to hurt. This Arcanine's got like one good switch in left. Definitely have to switch out if I want to keep it. Go to this. I think here is where I figure out that this is more defensive. Just seeing the lack of damage on that Hydro Steam, it makes it so that I don't really I'm afraid of this thing. I just know I have to get it down to like half to be able to kill with close combat with Sneasler. Yeah, And the Hydro Steam isn't doing enough. I definitely wish I had boots on this thing. It would help me tank this a lot better, but that's okay. Definitely meant to bring boots over Black Sludge. Like, I'm going to recover here, and then he reveals his fourth move, which is Roar. Now I am even less afraid of this thing. I just have to, you know, keep chipping away at it. He brings in Arcanine. I think this is a bit of a misplay on his part. I think he goes for Roar again, expecting me to switch, but at this point, I got like one more switch in, or I don't have any more switches in with Arcanine. The next time it switches in, it just dies. And luckily, I get the Scorching Sands burn, which is going to help me whittle this away, because it's going to nullify its leftovers. And then he does go for the Roar, which brings in my Sneasler. Like I said, I just need, you know, to keep chipping away at this, and I'll be in a decent position despite being down. So I'm going to U-turn here again as this Torkoal comes in. I think it would, thinking back on it, maybe, no, I definitely don't close combat if he stays, so that was fine. So I'm going to Alomomola. I do go for the Wish. I want to, you know, bring something back up to full health. So mainly Sneasler, that's why I did that play. Don't really have any other play to make here. So here, yeah, we just, you know, trade damage. I'll go for U-turn. I'll keep regenerating up. I'm happy I have boots, and yeah, I'm looking like not, yeah, I think at this point my thought is, all right, I just need to start, you know, doing damage to things little by little, and then take it from there. Like, I definitely tank everything he has. So he lets me get a U-turn off, which is big. And I think he, you know, Hydro Steams again on my packs. I don't take enough. I think I recover here. Yeah, I just wanted to stall out Turns of Sun, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I double switch, or just, you know, switch, predicting him to switch. Yeah, I go to Alomomola, just, you know, easy mid-ground play to make. Then on his switch, I get a flip turn off on the Sandy Shocks, which is good. Like, this damage is really nice. Here I bring in Mamoswine. I didn't calc this. I don't know if I shark kills here. Maybe I should calc it, but I figured that he would switch, and I think I try and go for an Icicle Crash, trying to catch the Minior, because if he lets me get this Ice Shard off, this will be in kill range of my Sneasler, even if Mamoswine dies. And I thought that maybe I could take a hit from this thing, because I don't think Earth Power one-shots me. But I totally forgot that these things can have Flash Cannon, which is what he goes for, which we'll see. But I really wish I had gone for the Ice Shard here. It would have made the battle a lot better for me, or a lot easier. Yeah, take all this damage. I didn't go for the Ice Shard. It's a big mistake on my part. So go back into Sneasler. Like, I'm like shitting it here. I'm thinking, okay, I basically only have 3 Pokemon left, because this thing dies on the next switch, and yeah, it's gonna be really hard. He has all 6 Pokemon relatively healthy. So he lets me get some damage on this Deoxys, and seeing this damage and after poison, I think that, you know, switching into Arcanine and getting another free switch, you know, relatively free switch into Sneasler is the play. So I let Arcanine go here. My goodest turn is any to let it go, because I can kill it next turn. Because this is definitely one of the things that's stopping me from just clicking close combat. I go for Dire Claw just in case he wants to save it and brings in something healthy. You know, just in case I get nice 50% para or sleep. Sun ends, he brings this thing in. So I know that, you know, these things like to Shell Smash, so I have Haze on my pecs just in case. And that's exactly what he goes for. He reveals that he's not Focus Sash, he's White Herb. So I'm gonna just take this turn. I know I'd tank anything he wants to go, even Super Effective Earthquake, and, you know, easily live it, and I'm able to go for Haze. And I don't know if I just switch here, predicting his switch. Yeah, this is a pretty good play on my part, instead of, you know, recovering. Because now I can scout this. So I take not enough from that Thunderbolt, and I get a really good flip turn here. And I went to Sneasler. I think at this point I am pretty confident I can kill it with close combat, and I think that's what I go for here. So now the only things I need to worry about is getting Walking Wake into kill percent, and also Minior. So one close combat, Minior comes in. I think I go back into Alamomola here. Yeah, it's the healthiest thing that I have. See, it's doing absolutely nothing. I think this turn, I think it's the safest play. As he goes for Shell Smash, I think at this point he's like he's thinking that he just needs to set up with this thing and sweep. He's probably getting a little frustrated that I'm just surviving everything. If I had predicted this and gone for I think it's Alluring Voice or whatever, that would have been really cool, but I don't. I go for the safe play. Here, I don't protect because if he goes for another Shell Smash, I straight up lose. So I do go for the Alluring Voice this turn while I get my Wish back. So just in case, that was just in case he had gone for another Shell Smash, and that would have been, done double damage. I'm not sure if Flip Turn would have been better, but it's nice to get all my health back with Alamomola here. He decides to switch out, so now this was a really important turn because that means that this is now in range of close combat. And I just go for another Alluring Voice. He decides to switch, or no, I Flip Turn predicting the switch. I go to Pex. It's my only play here. If I had gone for Alluring Voice there, that would have been great. I think I Flip Turn maybe thinking the Sending Shocks would come in. It's been a while, but I don't remember my thought process, but it ends up still working out. Like, this thing doesn't kill me, I can recover. But I switch anyways. Yeah, pretty much get a free switch here. Then, yeah, I go for Alluring Voice while he roars me out. I think this might have been a mistake on his part, not switching out, but honestly, nothing on his team wants to take Alluring Voice. Like, it's the things on his team are getting low. This does not want to, take 50 or whatever it might be. So at this point, like, I think the game is, I guess looking back at it, the game is pretty much mine. I just have to look for a free switch into Sneasler. And here I'm just pivoting around my guys. I'm gonna skip here. I do make a bit of a misplay because just in case, I am stalling out Sun Turns, which is why I have this and not Pex here. Just in case, but the misplay is I accidentally go for a double protect when I had meant to switch into Pex to die to the Thunderbolt, because I know this is choice locked and I would get my free switch into Sneasler. Yeah, this could have been scary. If Sneasler wasn't killing everything, Alamomola probably could have killed if I was at full house, which I would have been if I had switched into Pex immediately. But that's okay. Yeah, I'll let this thing die, and then now I have Sneasler. And Sneasler just sweeps from here. This was, super good duel battle, whatever. I do get a crit here, which did not end up mattering. Like, I have the calcs. I definitely, played well enough to make sure everything was in close combat range, which was, after losing Mamo, like, my main goal. And yeah, I got pretty, I think I got lucky a little bit that his roars didn't force Sneasler out. But yeah, that's the end of this replay. Super intense, and like, good job to Paz, my opponent. I think he played that almost as well as he could have. And yeah, this is the end of this one. This was a pretty long one, as it tends to be with Sol matches. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll post up my week 3 sometime in the near future.